Apps, apps, apps. We're inundated with them. The Google Play Store has millions of them, and if you're like me, you probably have well over 100 on your mobile phone. But for those of us who might spend 3, 4, 5, 6 or more hours on our mobile device every single day, there are a few important apps we just can't get by without using. So today, we're going to take a look at my Huawei P30 Pro and some of my favorite applications I use every single day. Let's get started. So starting off this video, I want to show off Sync for Reddit. Now, I know a lot of you guys are familiar with this application, but I know a lot of people use others as well. Sync for Reddit for me is a very full-featured Reddit application with a lot of different settings that I can adjust on the fly and per device. For instance, say I want to go ahead and have these fixed height cards, which probably is my favorite setting. I can have dynamic cards that adjust the cards how the the picture or image looks. I can go down here and I can switch it to, in the view, I can go ahead and switch it to full height cards, which will go ahead and pull down full height for every single card. So it kind of uses knowing what the type of content is, as well as the subreddit that it's in for those dynamic, controls and views that you have there. You can also go small if you're one of those people who like to have smaller and more content on your particular device. You can go with this particular view, which is the small cards. You can go even smaller cards, and you can go even smaller with the compact view. You can move the images from the left to the right. You can control what happens when you click it or long press it. Just tons and tons of options that I absolutely love in this application. I use it every single day, as well as the ability to change between your night mode and your light mode, as well as switching based on time of day. Also, you can change the order of your subreddit. So if on device A you go to a particular subreddit more often than you do on another phone, you can go ahead and just toggle that. Or if you wanted to toggle it by how often you visited each subreddit, you can go ahead and toggle it that way as well. It's just a very full-featured, and the developer is fantastic for this application as well. Its performance is amazing too, no matter what kind of device you're using this on. Now, it is taking a little bit of time for some of my images to load in, and that does happen because of my Wi-Fi in this particular room. It just kind of takes a little bit, but normally images load in super fast, and you can see here, scrolling is buttery smooth. I've also got an option down here that allows me to quick scroll through comments by top level comments. You can also go to the very bottom of the loaded comments by holding it down. You can collapse all the comments by pressing that button there, or you can go ahead and just reply from the icon on the right. Again, looking at it here, it's just so smooth. That's probably my favorite aspect of this particular app. And again, the developer is just amazing for it. The next app that I want to show off here is my launcher. This is Nova Launcher. A lot of you guys have complained about my full array of icons. I've kind of condensed it down here with icons on the bottom and a widget on top. Hopefully I can, keep half of you guys happy. But this is the way that I like to have my home screen. I sync it between all my devices. And as you can see there, I set up custom icons as well. So some of my favorite features of Nova, everybody probably knows them, but these are probably 3 of my favorite features in Nova. The first one is being able to set folders full screen. I love this full screen view for folders. I wish it would go full screen, that we wouldn't have to scroll, but I just love the UI and the way that it looks and the way that it flows out to the entire screen. I also love that you can set icons for your folders to hide them, so that way you don't get that really ugly folder look. You can just set your favorite icon or an icon that kind of links itself. Like this one is Smart Home. Inside of there I have all of the smart home applications that I use, but it just looks like a standard application. It makes maneuvering my home screen really easy, really quick, and really painless. One of my other favorite features about Nova Launcher, you probably saw it earlier, but I don't have it right now, is the notification dots, where you can see notifications that are pending for particular applications. You get a little dot and a number 1, and again, it's fully customizable. I've just been using it for years. It's a fantastic launcher, no problems. I'm with Prime, I get the fast updates, I've paid for it. I would pay for this application time and time again. So the next app that I want to talk about is called Hello Weather. Now, I am a huge Carrot fan, but unfortunately Carrot just really isn't supported on Android like it is on iOS, and a radar is a thing I really need here in Florida. So this is Hello Weather. I love the way this app looks. The colors, the look, the feel, the icons, it's absolutely beautiful, and it has dark sky support as well. You can see here the way that it shows rain on the left and the temperatures on the right. it's just the way they design this application. I really can't say enough great things about it. I've only been using it for a few weeks now, but it's already, I wish they had something like this on iOS, because the way that it works and interacts is just beautiful. It also has a radar, which I'm not going to click, so I can't give away my exact location, but I wish the radar had a few more options on it. But again, it's still a very full-featured weather application, and you also get a couple of different options as well here for changing the way that your themes are colored, automatic night modes and such, and notifications. Again, just a really fantastic application. Support the developers. It does have a subscription fee, so definitely keep that in mind if you want to use some of the extra features. So password management is something that I take a lot of pride and joy in lately, as I've been moving a lot of my passwords over to a dedicated manager. I use KeePass because it's open source, and I have great applications on desktop, iOS, and Android that I can use. My particular application of choice on Android is KeePass to Android. As you can see there, it can use my fingerprint to go ahead and unlock this, as well as having the master key that I have set for the application. I'm not going to go into it too much, I'm not going to go beyond this screen here, but this is a fantastic application. It supports autofill from your keyboard, just a great application. If you're looking for something for password management, you don't want to pay, one of the third-party applications, this is a really great option. Personally, I actually sync it through a Google account I don't use very often, and it's encrypted there, so that's how I sync it between my devices, and KeePass will write to that Google Drive folder as well, which makes it really nice to sync between the KeePass application on PC and this KeePass application on Android. And another application that I use on a regular basis is my podcast application, Pocket Casts. Now, I've been using Pocket Cast for years now, and I am actually one who prefers this new design, but I know that a lot of people don't, so to each their own opinions. I love the way that I have my filters set up for my favorite podcasts, as well as all of my other playlists that I can choose. I really don't like the way that archiving works on it, but again, I just love the way that this looks. I also love that it syncs between my devices. I own this application on PC, on iOS, and on Android, and if I play something on my iOS device and I grab my Android phone, the playhead syncs and it comes up here on the bottom. You see this particular podcast here, but from the indicator, I wasn't listening to this on my P30, I was actually listening to this on my iPhone XS Max. So it's really cool the way that it syncs instantly, and it just makes it easy for me to switch between devices, which is something, if you've noticed from all my applications, I tend to do a lot and tend to have sync between them. But again, there are a lot of other podcast applications. This one just happens to be my favorite. And finally, we come down to my mail application of choice. I know it's a very boring option, but with Inbox recently going under, this is something I switched to actually a couple of months ago when I heard that Inbox was going to be closing. I really like the way Outlook works. Now, I am an Office 365 subscriber, so I do get a few bonus features, but for the most part, everything works just as it does for the free, as it does for the paid tier. So the things I really like about it, I keep multiple inboxes synced there. They all come to a global inbox, which is something that I love. I also love the ability to set your gestures for snooze, and you also have the mark as read and archive option. A lot of applications, unfortunately, just have archive, but you can mark as read and archive. It's just an important difference for me personally, the way that I like to work. It also has a great calendar built into the application that syncs with your devices, with your other calendars, and with your other applications that you might be using. My favorite feature, though, has to be the focused inbox. Now, it takes a little while to properly train this focused inbox, but once you've got it trained, all of your important emails come here and you get notified. And all of your other emails you might not want to know about, but might want to stay up to date on, go into the other folder. And that's where you can see I have YouTube, Google Sheets, just a lot of other things here that I keep stored in my other that I want to know about when they come through, but I don't particularly care to get notified of or clog up my focused inbox. Like I mentioned before, you can also snooze your messages, and that does sync between devices, but just be warned, it takes a few minutes to sync all of your folders, messages, and things like that if you've started up a new device. So those are my favorite applications I use every single day on pretty much any of my devices. In the comments below, be sure to talk about what are your favorite applications. Maybe you have a alternative to one of the ones here you might want me to try. I'll be sure to go ahead and give it a shot and see if it fits my needs. Anyways, I've been Daniel Marchena for XDA TV, and if you're not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Leave the video a like and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified of every single one of our great videos here on XDA TV. I'll see you in the next one.